God damn son of a... Absolutely perfect, was it? Radio Dead Air KRDA Monday night. I am Nash. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is a Monday. How are you all doing there tonight? If there is something you'd like to hear, send it to requests at radiodeadair.com. We'll endeavor to get that on the air for you tonight. How have you all been? What do we got for you tonight? Live, What the Fuck is Wrong with You is coming up. It's usual time, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. We've got some producer spotlight stuff from the vaults. Your request, all this and more tonight. And it's kind of a sad day. In case you haven't been following the news, today, well, actually yesterday, David Bowie died at the age of 69 after a 1.5 year long battle with cancer. So I guess we obviously have to say, first off, fuck cancer. I mean, Christ's sake, fuck cancer. I mean, Jesus! Shit just keeps happening. Not a really good start to 2016, all told. David Bowie. Man. What is there to... You'll have to give me a second. I have to collect my thoughts here on this one. David Bowie was the last great rock auteur of our generation, or last generation, or the last 50 years, honestly. This is a man who, without question, left a mark on every single genre of popular music since the late 60s. Easily. He was at the very center of glam rock. And hell, if you listen really carefully to Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, he also helped pioneer punk, because there is definitely strains of what would become punk on that album. Now, while most of us kind of create a sort of thing, and then we create something else similar, and then we just keep doing that sort of similar thing where our comfort zone is, Bowie was uncomfortable with comfort zones. He started off with kind of a progressive rock thing, which evolved into glam. And then he started exploring funk and soul and blended that into what was going to become new wave. And then he started gravitating toward industrial. This man did not have a single set genre. He moved between them fluidly. And he usually got there first. Bowie did it, then everybody else did it. That was kind of the rule of the day. everyone was moving to catch up to what Bowie was creating. He was the pacemaker. He was the pace car for the ridiculous rat race that is rock and roll. I racked my brain, and I could not think of another living artist who has had that much influence across the board. I really cannot. Can you? I can't. No, but no one comes to mind. And that the outpouring of respect and love and loss from across such a broad spectrum of both fans and fellow musicians, I can speak words, fellow musicians, speaks volumes to what David Bowie was. When we got the news last night, I will say even David Bowie kind of jumped the, even in death, he kind of jumped over the conventional lines, because it was first reported on his official Twitter and his Facebook. And everybody's response to this was immediately, Bowie got hacked. Because that's not how you do it when someone famous and important dies. You don't go through Facebook or Twitter. You go through a press release. That came after. So all of us online were going, oh no, it's a hack, it's fake, it's not real. 5 minutes later, we're all going, what? Oh shit. Another thing, just a general personal thing for me that I don't know if you've noticed this in our day and age. Nothing creeps me out quite like the knowledge that for everyone you know, every celebrity, everyone famous, everyone who has sort of a foot in any larger sphere of influence, every one of those people at a news desk, at a blogging station, what have you, there is a file on each of them waiting for them to die. They keep obituaries ready and updated for everyone. They don't just write those off the cuff. Those are ready to go the minute the report comes in that someone has died. That kind of freaks me right the fuck out. In more than a few ways. Because, Jesus. Someone, it's just a little ghoulish, you know? I understand why they do it. I understand why they have this. I get it. It's still kind of creepy, you know? Just these text files sitting there waiting for someone to die. But I digress. Bowie, I'm going to be perfectly, completely honest here. Bowie has never been one of my hardcore favorite artists. Sorry to say it. That's not saying I didn't love and respect his work. I love Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. I love that album, start to finish. That is an amazing album. I love just about every song on that album. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorites of all time. And Life on Mars is my favorite David Bowie song. It's hard to explain why. It's just the feel and the swell and the orchestral. Just, Usually with me, I'm more concerned with what a song is about than with how it sounds. And I know that's a little weird. But with Bowie, it kind of was the complete opposite, because Bowie songs were a whole package unto themselves. You couldn't divorce the meaning of the lyrics with the way the music worked. They are interchangeable. They were fixed to one another. They weren't separate entities. They were a whole together. Stop and think about that. Think about how many artists, how easy it is to divorce the lyrics from the music. How simple the music is. And how the lyrics kind of stand apart. Not always a bad thing. Some musicians are more poets than they are musicians. Some are more musicians than they are poets. And that's cool. Because everybody's got their talents and their strengths. But we just put them together. And I can't help but be awed and stunned by his capacity to do that. The way he would just craft songs together that way. And I have to say, every time a Bowie song came on the radio, you didn't change the channel. Nobody did. Because it just, across the spectrum, he was well regarded and well loved. And it really affected me and struck me because in the decades and centuries to come, Bowie is one of those artists they're going to keep talking about. Like a great painter. Like Hemingway. Like Mozart. He's going in history books. He's going to be studied. He had a measurable cultural impact that few, if any, other artists have ever achieved. Not to mention his constant, consistent reinvention of himself every few years. I posted this earlier. They say that Bowie was a musical chameleon, but that's wrong, because they imply that a chameleon implies that the background, he changed to match his background. That's backwards. Bowie would do something, and everyone else would change to match. That's beyond impressive. You wouldn't have Lady Gaga without David Bowie. As much as Gaga is impressive in her own right, she is every bit a disciple of Bowie. And he still continued up until the date of his death. He was working on his latest album. Obviously, he knew he had cancer for the past year and a half, and yet just released a new album. Shot videos for it. Everything. He knew he was sick. He knew his death was a possibility. How much of a possibility, we don't know. A possibility, yes. A certainty, did he know that? We don't know. But he knew that was a possibility. And yet he continued up until the end to do what he loved, obviously. And it was beyond impressive. And I can't say I loved every single David Bowie song, but I can't say that the songs he made were important and valuable and contributions to who and what we are. Especially if you love music. Everybody owes something to David Bowie. Everybody. And that's all leading up to our Invisibles for this week. Now, normally what happens at this point is, for those of you just joining us for the first time, Radio Dead Air used to be audio only, made the jump to video. There's a lot of really good songs don't have videos, so I set some time aside to show some of those to you. But this week, I'm dedicating the entirety of the Invisibles to some lesser known David Bowie songs. He had lots of singles. But what we're going to look at tonight are songs that were on albums, never released as singles, didn't get videos. People may not know about them. And let me tell you, this was hard as hell to just pick a few of these to present tonight. So I hope I've come through a good representation of his different eras and his different things that influenced him, things he influenced, his sounds, his ability to shift from one thing to the next and just keep going, keep advancing. We're going to start with a track from 1971's Hunky Dory. This is called Oh, You Pretty Things. So let's kick this off right now. We're doing the Invisibles tonight. This is David Bowie, Radio Dead Air. From Hunky Dory, that was Oh, You Pretty Things. 1971. We're only going to jump 1 year ahead for the next one, but this is a really important track. Not just in terms of, Bowie, but in terms of punk. Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars fell into glam. But the album itself, the refrains, the riffs, the beat, the feel of it helped lay the foundation for the Ramones, the Sex Pistols, the early punk of the late 70s. Much of those songs and the work that would become punk can be directly tied back to Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, and that's really evident on this track. From 1972, this is David Bowie, Hang On to Yourself, and oh God, getting this title to fit on the screen. You'll see it. Here we go. Radio Dead Air. Radio Dead Air. We're doing the Invisibles tonight. It's tribute to the immortal David Bowie. Like I said, Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, get that album and listen to it start to finish because it is glorious. And also, it's hard to deny that without that album, a lot of modern punk wouldn't have quite been the same. You can listen to that last track, Hang On to Yourself, and you hear strains of the Ramones, strains of the Sex Pistols, the Damned, the early pioneers, even a little bit of Blondie in there. You can hear the influence of that on stuff like Call Me. That Bowie was there in 72. Way before anyone else. Bowie got there first. But as time went on, Bowie evolved and changed. And spectacularly. Not only did he evolve and change, he managed to do so while still remaining successful and viable, which is something few, if any, artists ever managed to pull off. He did it. As time went on and things evolved into the 80s, Bowie was at the forefront of what would be new wave. He wasn't the only one there, but he was there early on, and he refined it. He also took a whole lot of influence from funk and soul and started exploring a completely different avenue of music than he'd been attached to before. And that's pretty evident on 1983's Let's Dance, which it's weird how you can be a fan of Ziggy Stardust on one hand and Let's Dance on the other, and they're both from the same guy, even though they are almost diametrically opposed in terms of sound and style. We're going to do a track from that one. This is, again, a track that was not released as a single nor as a music video, but still really, really good. From 1983's Let's Dance, this is David Bowie, Without You, Radio Dead Air. David Bowie, Without You, from Let's Dance. Ugh. It was amazing. All right. Getting closer to our own era, he continued to change, innovate, and evolve. Now, I have to be honest. I wasn't a big fan of the Tin Machine era. Sorry. But I will give him credit when it came to the industrial and the stuff that he was doing there. He got there first. Or really close to first. And lots of other people drew their inspiration from that stuff too. Tin Machine was, while not my favorite, critically and artistically really well received for being just a new iteration. But didn't really click with me. And he had some ups and downs. He did release an album that the critics did not like too much in the late 90s, early 2000s. I believe the term for it was Bowie doing adult contemporary. But he had a really strong follow-up to that one. It was called Heathen. And that's where this track comes from. It's 2002. And this track is called Afraid, Radio Dead Air. From 2002's Heathen, it's David Bowie, Afraid. This is normally where the Invisibles would wrap up, but we're not quite done yet. Because I would be remiss without playing this one. We're going to go all the way back to David Bowie's very first hit song. I'm not sure how many people are aware of this, but some people are, and they're already in the channel going, oh dear. Now I'm going to remind you, the same man who did Ziggy Stardust, Ashes to Ashes, Space Oddity, Let's Dance, Modern Love, Rebel Rebel, the same man, his very first hit song was this. I guess we all gotta start somewhere. David Bowie's very first hit single, The Laughing Gnome. A fun fact, the magazine Enemy arranged with David Bowie to play a specific song that fans voted for when Bowie was out on tour. And it was a fan request. The fans wanted him to play one song from his back catalog while he was on tour, live. The overwhelming vote was for The Laughing Gnome. Mr. Bowie was not amused. Needless to say, didn't happen. Before that, from 2002's Heathen, we had Afraid. 1983's Let's Dance, we played Without You. 1972, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, we played Hang On to Yourself. And from 1971's Hunky Dory, we played Oh, You Pretty Things. We seriously owe that man so much. And I didn't love everything he did, but I can respect everything he did. Which, can you really say that about every artist? Can you even say that about your favorite artist, that you respect everything they do and attempt? Even The Laughing Gnome. I can respect that, because, God's sake, even the puns aside. But he was kind of magnificent. And Christ, now you guys are doing gnome puns. Stop that. Stop that right this second. Cease this fuckery forthwith. Do not do this. I'm kind of sad over this. To be perfectly honest, when Johnny Cash died, I was absolutely devastated. I was crying. Maybe I'm just kind of in a different place, but Bowie, it didn't really move me to just sobs, but I was like, wow. The sense an era had passed. That something really vital was missing. Music's not going to be the same without him. Not now, not ever. So, We've got more to come tonight. Please do stay tuned. Lots of interesting shit to come up with tonight. I did want to mention another thing. Bowie wasn't the only important person we lost this weekend. When I was much younger and in college, a friend of mine, my best friend, in fact, his name's Chance, and as he wanted to do quite often, came up to me and said, "You gotta see this." Now, to give you a little background, every time Chance said this to me, he was usually right. Even if I didn't quite agree, go along with him to begin with. Chance brought to me Doctor Who in the early 80s. We grew up together. And he brought to me Doctor Who, and I'm like, what? This is British bullshit? Okay, I'll watch it. And I fucking loved it. Chance brought to me the Evil Dead series. He was my gateway. I'm like, what is this Evil Dead shit? Oh, okay. So when I was starting to get used to the fact when Chance would whip out a VCR tape and say, "You gotta see this," I was starting to trust him. And he came to me in college. He said, "Dude, you got to see this." I'm like, "Okay, what you got?" It was Phantasm. Whoa. I loved the Phantasm series. From the outset, from even watching the clunky old original. Such a great series. Not the best written, but always the best acted. But definitely, visually and stylistically, one of the most memorable horror series ever created. And part of that was due in no small amount to a man named Angus Scrimm, who you may know better as the Tall Man, or Bowie. That entire movie series would not have worked quite the same without Angus Scrimm's performance. And as the series changed and evolved between sequels, as the tone shifted and adjusted, he rolled with it, always giving this just menacing performance, which is really funny because he was one of the sweetest men ever, Angus Scrimm. And I say was because, sadly, we lost Angus Scrimm at the age of 89 this past week. Now, the one small shining bright spot is that the final edition, the final installment of the Phantasm series, Phantasm Ravager, had completed filming. So it is done. It's ready to go. It's set to be released this year. So the series will be concluded. We will get to see the final bit of it, which has always been, it was left on a cliffhanger for something like, 20 years now? But he did return, he did complete it, and that one was one of those that also really just took me off guard, because he is an icon in horror. Not a gross out character, not just like, not over the top like Freddy or Jason, but just menacing in his mundane nature. The Tall Man, that black suit, that look on his face, he could just walk through average America. No one would think twice about it. And yet, the performance Angus Scrimm gave made him so terrifying. So I had to doff my hat to him as well because I'm looking forward to Ravager. I'm, like I said, big fan of Phantasm. Looking forward to seeing it wrap up, but really sad to see the man go. So it's just been it just sucks, man. It just sucks. It sucks. I don't like it. It just sucks. Where's my... Okay, here we go. Normally, for those of you who normally follow me, this is normally the part in the show where I pull out an old review from the vault if I don't have anything ready for this week, which it's been a while, let's be honest. I'm working on it, I promise. But I didn't really have anything that fit this week, but Kyle did from way back. And so I'm going to cede my time to him this week because this... What else could I play? What else could I play right now? So here we go. Radio Dead Air. Radio Dead Air. David Bowie, Trent Reznor. I'm Afraid of Americans. Before that, Rachel Bloom, I Steal Pets. Congratulations to Rachel Bloom, YouTuber makes good. She has done thing. She got herself a Golden Globe for her TV series, My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Or is it Crazy Ex-Girlfriend? I don't know. Whichever. She deserved it. Because, you know, fucking Rachel Bloom. She's cool. Before that, we had Bauhaus doing Ziggy Stardust. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Where's my... File, come on. There it is. That's what I wanted. That in the background. It's awful dark back there. Let's put something up to be a little more festive. There we go. Had Lucero doing David Bowie's Modern Love. Started with Kyle's Brows Held High, The Man Who Fell to Earth. Hope you enjoyed that. Radio Dead Air, KRDA, Monday night. So, you'll notice tonight is not going to be all David Bowie music. And as much as I wish I can get away with that, I can't. Because in order to do this show, I have to follow some rules because I'm trying to do it legally. Which means I pay a copyright fee on everything that gets played, and I have some rules I have to follow. I can't do more than a set number of songs by an artist in an hour, and from the same album, and there's a lag time between when a song is requested and when I can actually play it. It's a bunch of bullshit. So, thank you, Sound Exchange, and also you'll also notice earlier in the show tonight, I normally start the show with a pre-show. I play a few songs before we actually get started. You'll notice there wasn't one tonight. Yeah. We had a little problem this year. See, before this year, the RIAA and Sound Exchange had made an arrangement for people who fall into my category. Small webcasters and microcasters. And we had to pay a little bit of a lower rate on songs at a different scale than, say, large broadcasters like Pandora and the others. That agreement expired at the end of 2015. And 2016, I now have to pay the exact same rates to play music that Pandora does. And it is... there was no announcement that this, agreement wasn't going to be renewed. They just sort of fucked off with it. And I have to keep different records than I used to. I have to keep an eye on how many people are listening at the time when a song is played. I have to keep track of all the songs I play. The more people are listening, here's how it's figured. I have to pay 0.0017 every time a song is played per person who was listening at the time. If 10 of you are listening, that's 10 times 0.0017. If 500 of you are listening, that's 500 times 0.0017. So the better I do, the more I have to pay. It kind of sucks. It's got to be a way to automate it. Not with the setup I've got. Really, there is no way to go through Ustream and do all that. The result is, sadly, I'll still try and play as much music as I can, but I may have to play less music in order to make sure the show can continue. As I've already asked, we already did our pledge drive last year, and you guys already came through for me on that, but I'm not going to keep going back to that well to keep asking you guys for money to keep supporting the show. That's kind of stupid. Now, I do have a Patreon tier that if I can get us up to 2,000 monthly, that I won't even have to worry with the license drive anymore, because I'm pretty sure I can cover all the fees on that by itself. But that's where we are. And it sucks, and I'm sorry. But it enables me to do this for you guys. Radio Dead Air makes me no money. Or at least no money I keep. The live What the Fuck Is Wrong With You, just by streaming that, I don't get any money. I get that from YouTube, putting that up on YouTube, and I get lots more views there than I do here. This is something I do because I love it. I've loved it for 15 years. Going on 16. So I want to keep doing music. That's why I started this show. That's why I keep doing it. So I'm going to have to deal with it. I'm going to have to pay the money. But c'est la vie, right? I can ask that we get the Patreon up. I'll try to come up with some more tiers and some more incentives for you there. I rack my brains over Patreon on the whole incentives thing. It's a little weird for me. I suck at self-promotion. I suck at coming up with ways to monetize. I've just never been in that mindset. Never have been. I don't know why. Just, it doesn't work for me. I hate sales. Worked in sales. I hate it. It always feels like lying. Most of the time with sales, it kind of is lying. But still, there you go. Now there are some of the small web, and to continue on this, you'll notice I've kind of used Live 365 for this show. In the past, it was the main way of watching it or listening to it, and when we moved to video, I kind of relegated that. And you notice it didn't exactly work quite right for a while there, so I kind of stopped using it. But I did keep a constant stream going. You could always go to the RDA show, to the RDA website, and listen to music there. But because of this rate hike, because of the elimination of the small webcaster and microcaster tiers on Sound Exchange, Live 365 is more than likely, by the end of this month, going to be shutting its doors. That is a great big just ow. Live 365 has been in operation since the early 2000s. It's where I got my start at all this. I owe them so much, and their loss is just well, not just for me, but for people who still just did audio only and still enjoyed just being a small webcaster. That was the last outlet they had to do it and do it legally. And to make it so financially infeasible for them to still allow the small people to do this and give money to the RIAA, because nobody really made money doing this, especially hobbyist level. They did it because they loved it. And there's no word. There are some groups that are trying to get together to lobby for another continuation of the small webcaster arrangement, and I like that because it would make shit easier on me. Because it would mean I wouldn't have to deal with this fucking thing every fucking month. Oh yeah, this is what I have to do every month. I have to fill out this fucking spreadsheet here and email it to them. That's a thing I gotta do every month. But yeah, it's just it. So it's frustrating because I love doing this for you guys. I love having you guys show up every week for me to do this. So we're going to have to juggle some stuff and figure out some ways to do it. And we will somehow. But there we are. Keep your fingers crossed that we come to an arrangement. I'm not, counting on it. If we don't, one way or another, RDA will keep going on as per usual. Because the fuck else am I going to do with myself on a Monday night? Don't answer that. You guys are gross. You guys are gross. I don't like you. You're gross. You're just weird. Yeah. I have to do legal homework to do this show. This isn't just me hopping on the internet and going, hey, I'm going to stream a thing. No. I got to do fucking paperwork. I have this over here. See this? This keeps track of everything that's played, when it was played, how often, and I have to copy that over, and I have to email my fucking report. I got to do fucking homework to do this show. It's bullshit. Anyway, what's up next? Tonight we have lots more to come. If you'd like to hear something, let me know. Send me a request. Request at radioatair.com. We will attempt to get on the air for you. Yeah, everyone. There's some shit that everyone has been requesting. And this was kind of an obvious. I have fish on the screen. There are fish back there. This is one of those amazing things that only the 21st century could enable in such a way, and I'm damn glad it did. Astronaut Chris Hadfield. Here we go. Radio Dead Air. Is it over? The song? Is it okay? Just sort of keeps going, doesn't it? Okay, go! I won't let you down. Epic Deadpool versus Boba Fett. Queen Under Pressure and Chris Hadfield. This version of Space Oddity, which Bowie was actually really very fond of. Because what artist wouldn't adore someone taking their song and playing it in fucking outer space? I mean, really? It's very black back there again. You know what? We need... we need something appropriate to the season and what's been going on here in Illinois. What could we put on? That'll do it. That'll do it. That's perfect. Indicative of the climate outside at the moment. Monday Night Radio today. We have lots more to come tonight live. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's not that very far away. We're going to be having that come up at 10:30 Eastern. Do stay tuned for that. It's always a hoot. It's a hoot. Lots more to come. Taking your requests, something you want to hear, send it to requests@radio.air.com. I will endeavor to get that on the air for you tonight. That's what we do here. Make y'all happy. Happy. How are we doing on this Monday night? So, last week, after much anticipation, the Facebook-owned company Oculus released their long-anticipated virtual reality headset, the Oculus Rift. Now, the CEO reports had led people to believe that the Oculus Rift would be priced somewhere around $300 or $400. Not exactly cheap. I mean, you can buy an entire PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One for that cost, but not exactly what would be that's a car. Anyway, not exactly what would be considered unreasonable for people to want to get into virtual reality for the first time. Well, when it was actually released last Tuesday, when everyone finally went, ooh, it's out. First pre-orders. They dropped the price bomb. $600. To put this into perspective, back in 2013, two 1440p monitors cost me $600 total for two monitors. But it gets better. Because of course it gets better. My computer is not exactly what you call a slouch. I need a fairly powerful editing rig and a system that can handle streaming RDA. It's a 6-core processor, which is not exactly common on the market by any means. 64 gigabytes of RAM, because I overdid it. And for a video card, I got, at the time, a fairly hefty 770 GT NVIDIA GeForce card. Just on a lark, I went to Oculus Rift's site and ran their product configurator, which said, if your computer can handle using the Oculus Rift. My ridiculously overpowered system would not do it. In order to run the Oculus Rift, which I will point out, this 770 GTX video card that I use can handle 1440p resolution at around 50, 60 frames per second. Handles it beautifully, no problems. In order to run that, my computer would need a new video card. So in addition to getting $600 for the Oculus Rift headset, I would have to pay an additional $350 to upgrade my video card, bringing the total to around $950, probably over $1,000 with tax, just to run the Oculus Rift. Now you might be saying to yourselves, what gaming experience could possibly warrant dropping $1,000 on a niche gaming accessory? Let's be perfectly frank. There really is no other function right now for the Oculus Rift. It just do games. It just does about 30 games or thereabouts. I'm going to double check, but because I want to be a little accurate on this one. Well, let's just be completely clear on this. Current list of games with Oculus Rift support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Looks like in the vicinity of about 40 games. 40 games total. Somewhere around there. 40 games that have Oculus Rift support. Of those, 5 are porn. One of them is a porn MMO. So 1/8 of the games that support the Oculus Rift, porn. A porn MMO. Now, let's build on this a little bit, shall we? If you've never seen the Oculus Rift, I want you to imagine this. Okay, let's start out. This is the thing you have to put on your head to use the Oculus Rift. This. Ladies and gentlemen, that is so right off the bat, you have to wear that ridiculous looking thing on your head. Now, I mean, for fuck's sake, look at that thing. $600. I could put a box on my head and look that stupid absolutely free. But let's bring this up a notch. Let's add that. Okay? Only imagine this guy completely naked with one hand on his junk. That, my friends, is the state of VR porn. I don't was I'm getting the feeling that VR is going to be to our generation what disco was for our parents. The shit you look back at and can't believe you fucking did because you looked like an imbecile. That's not. Oh, I'm sure it's amazing, but you know what? I would rather have my monitors in front of me than that on my head when gaming. I'm sorry. Oh, but you move your head around, it's like you're really in there. No, it's not. No, it's like you're in your bedroom with that on your head. That's exactly what it's like. That's exactly what it's fucking like. Radio dead air. God damn. Lots more to come tonight. Like I said, live What the Fuck Is Wrong With You will begin about 15 minutes. Oh, do stay tuned. Do stay tuned. Let's see what we have on our request list here. But how do you... Oh yeah, we're not doing that. Guys, come on. Some of the videos you send me, really? Really? I'm pretty sure it's okay for you, but it's the kind of video that your friends, when you put on, they want to leave the room. Don't send those to us. Don't send those to us. That's not stuff. That's not fun at all. At all. How about we do some Nirvana? How about we do that? By request. Yeah. We'll do Nirvana. Is Leonardo DiCaprio going to stomp to the background? I feel like he should. Yeah, John the Wizard. It's The Revenant. Otherwise known as, please give me an Oscar. Please, for fuck's sake, I'm not getting any younger. Please just give me the fucking Oscar already. You know I've earned it. You bastards. Just give me the... You bastards. Which game is the porn MMO? You really want to know? You can Google it if you really want to. If you have your heart set on it. What is it called? 3D sex chat, something like that. It's a porn MMO. Also, Second Life, which is somehow still a thing, is Oculus compatible. Just in case you were wondering. I don't. Anyway, come on. I want to do the thing, computer. There we go. Good computer. You get a cookie. All right, here we go. By request from Nirvana. Stay tuned. Live What the Fuck Is Wrong With You will be up soon. Radio Dead Air. That was released January 7th, so not that long ago, just a few days. That may very well be David Bowie's final video from his Black Star album. That was Lazarus. Before that, Heart of Life, I Fight Dragons, and Nirvana doing Bowie's Man Who Sold the World. Radio Dead Air, KRDA, Monday night. Still left the music. Maybe gone, but he still left the music. He left a whole fuckload of music. All right, lots more to come tonight. Do stay tuned. If you have requests, send them to requests@radiodeadair.com. But right now, it's almost time for the nonsense. Before we get there, I want to give mention to our Patreon shout-out sponsors at the $30 and $50 level. Our Patreon, we have our shout-outs where we make mention of folks who help make things work here at Radio Dead Air with their contributions, and to direct your attention to some other stuff to do when I'm not around. First is Zenith Will Review, Media Meltdown, reviews, retrospectives, interviews, all sorts of cool shit. Check his stuff out. It's good people. You can find that at Zenith Will Review. Raocow! Raocow is a Let's Player YouTuber and all-around weird kind of guy. And he's cool. He's just kind of weird. But, you know, hey, you're watching this show. You're used to that. Find his stuff at raocow.com. Magic Steve reviews and magic and balloons. He's quite the character, Magic Steve. You can find him on YouTube, Magic Steve 83. Go like and subscribe there. You can do it. Just go click the subscribe button. It won't hurt. I promise. Geekvision.tv. It's a wonderful site with a lot of really cool people I know. It's got blogs and comedy and reviews and all sorts of cool shit. You can find that. Geekvision.tv. She played husband and wife Let's Players. I like the Let's Plays. I like sometimes just want to kick back, watch the Let's Play. Or sometimes I just let the Let's Play run in the background. It's cool. It's very chill. Check them out. He played, she played. Mark Grondin is host of Spectrum Pulse on YouTube, music and pop culture show, and he's just released his first novel, To Kill a Dragon. It's a fantasy novel, and you would likes. It's only $3. Hey, give that a check out at Morning Rain Publishing. Paradise and Fairies, anime, video games, a three-legged dog. It's a cool little site. If you're interested in any of those, go give it a look. And finally, we've got a new one this week. We have a new shout out. RT Gomer Productions. Lots of reviews and podcasts here. Big Ones podcast, the Thespian Talk podcast. It's good stuff. If you like that sort of thing, go and check it out. He's got lots of contributors, lots of stuff. There's alphabeticals. Lots of peoples. You can find that at rtgomer.com. And hey, Nash, I don't like typing things into the search window. Can't you just give me the links? I have. If you go to live.radiodeadair.com, below this scroll up below this video window, not my penis, scroll up. There's a list at the bottom, not my penis, of all of our Patreon sponsors, past and present. Great people. Go click their links, check them out. If they're on YouTube, like and subscribe. Seriously, that is like one of the coolest things you can do, and it costs you absolutely nothing. So you could maybe do that for them, huh? You could maybe do that for them, huh? Once again, thanks to all of our Patreon shout-out sponsors. You're great people. You help make Radio Dead Air happen, and that means this is in part your fault. So when the lawsuit comes and you get the subpoena, don't be surprised. It is time. It is that time. That magical time. Where are... There it is. There it is. There it is. Let's get underway, shall we? Boodly doodly doodly. Boodly doodly doo. Hello?
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 Oh,
Hi!
hello. I'm sleeping. And we've learned that the cat is evolving in her.
She knows how to get the fuck out of the way of the camera. She understands the camera.
She's evolving. She's old and grumpy, but she's fucking clever.
The cat understands the fucking...
She's smart, man.
She's like, fuck you. Well, thank you, Tara.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Radio Dead Air, KRDA. We got more to come tonight. If you have requests, send them to requests@radiodeadair.com. We'll get them on. I'm going to go with one out of my vault that is tangentially related, I suppose, in ever so slightest way. Well, you know what? Do I want to wait on the vault one? I think I'm going to wait on the vault one because right now I can give a shot at someone else. Leon, who does Renegade Cut, a while back did a review that I think you might be interested in, kind of, I don't know, topical. Let's have a look. Here we go. Radio Dead Air. Radio Dead Air, KRDA, Army of Lovers Crucified. God damn it, Mike. What is it with you in that fucking video? I don't fucking understand. Bad lip reading. Bushes of Love. You gotta admit, that's ridiculously catchy for some fucking reason. I don't know how he does that. Peter Schilling, Major Tom, COG, Magic Dance, and Underground. And we started with Renegade Cut Labyrinth. Oh, my stomach. I forgot to eat today. Whoops. Oopsie. I forgot to eat. Monday night. Still got more to come. If you have requests, send them to requests@radiodeadair.com. Attempt to get those on. So, I pay for Amazon Prime. Now, I'll be honest and upfront about this. I paid for Amazon Prime for the free 2-day shipping, which is kind of nice when I need like tech parts and something. But one of the things I get as part of Amazon Prime is Prime Video, which is sort of like Netflix, only it's Amazon. And it is neat because it has stuff Netflix doesn't and others don't, like a whole bunch of HBO films and series, which I like those. HBO does good shit. I've been going back through Band of Brothers in the Pacific, which, cool series if you never watched it. But here's the thing. I plunked down a $70-odd yearly fee for Amazon Prime. I pay for it. Which means when I get Amazon Prime Video, I am paying Amazon for their video service. It's not free. If you want to see the videos any other way, you have to pay to rent them individually unless you have Amazon Prime. So I pay for it. It's a paid service, much like Netflix, much like YouTube Red. Which, goddamn, fucking name. Really? You couldn't come up with anything? Anyway. Paid video services are supposed to be ad-free. That's how that works. You are paying for the content up front, for content without advertising. Kind of important there. And I was watching through Band of Brothers. Suddenly, up pops this advertisement in what's supposed to be an ad-free stream for something called Mozart in New York, I believe. Two things happened right then and there. The first was, I will never be watching Amazon's Mozart in New York. The second thing, I suddenly started wondering, what exactly was I fucking paying for with Amazon Prime Video? It's supposed to be ad-free, right? Now you're putting ads into it. It was like, you know, I have altered the deal. Pray I do not alter it further. It's kind of bullshit. Isn't it? Isn't that kind of bullshit? You're already paying for it. Now you have to pay more to make the commercials go away. It's an unskippable commercial. It's you know the full 30-second kind of thing. There's no getting around it. Now, I watch it because they have HBO stuff that others don't. But then what's this new HBO Go thing? Oh, it has all those HBO shows and a few more that I was interested in. I was watching on Amazon Prime. I could just pay for HBO Go. Why would you do this? Why would you just kneecap your video service by putting ads in? It's part of the reason people pay for this stuff is to avoid ads. Another is, look, I understand this is how the internet works. You either have to use ads to support something or you have to pay for it up front. That's the two models we have going on right now. I opt in with the paying to make sure the creators get their money and everything's fine. But you changed it. You changed the fucking deal. It's paying and advertisements. That's bullshit. So I don't use the 2-day shipping that much because I've gotten pretty much all the junk I need. The only thing I was keeping it around for really was the Amazon Prime Video. Now I have an alternative to that. Hey, guess what? This is what competition does. This is how competition works. When someone else has the same product with, you know, better incentives, they'll go over there. That's competition. I don't know why I would keep Amazon Prime at this point, you know? Gee, I wish we had the same sort of thing with internet service providers. Just saying. Fuck you, Comcast. Anyway. I am getting kind of worn out tonight, but that's okay. We'll stay for a while longer. This is probably the most closely Doctor Who related, the most closely David Bowie thing I have related video I've done. So I guess we'll do that. It's been a while. Let's do this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? You bastard. I know I fucking have this fucking thing. Where? I had this. And where is Go? Where is Go? Making me grumpy, computer. Won't like me when I'm grumpy. Here it is. Isn't it? Is it? Is this right? Yes. Here we go. Radio Dead Air. I'll shut up now. David Bowie, Rebel, Radio Dead Air, KRDA. Before that, some Glove and Boots. Go like, subscribe to them on YouTube. They're good peoples. Motorhead, Killed by Death. Crash Test Dummies. I feel like I should have a candy bar or something right now. Doctor Who Classic with Doctor Who and the Daleks. Radio Dead Air, KRDA. And kids, I'm fading fast. Sorry, I've been up all day. I know I mentioned last week I was kind of working on something to try and get myself in a better headspace. That sort of fell through over the weekend, but I might be getting that sorted out come Wednesday. In which case, you will hear about it, and fingers crossed that all works out. I'm still not talking about it yet. You'll find out. He's a surprise or something. But want to mention this weekend coming up, we are going to have our bi-weekly Radio Dead Air Tech Q&A. If you have a technical question you want me or Mike or both of us or neither of us to address and help you with, send it to requests@radiodeadair.com. Put Tech Q&A in the subject line. We will endeavor to get that looked at for you. Folks, sleep food. Wouldn't that be great? Would it be great if you could eat while sleeping? Actually, I think you can, and that's a disorder, so that's probably not great. But it is an idea. Kids, thanks for tuning in. I'll be back next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Meanwhile, this is Nash saying, stick a stake in me. I'm done. And yeah, try and remember David Bowie's work, because he was fucking awesome. And he might be gone, but his influence is going to endure for years and years. And that's honestly the most any of us could hope to get out of this craziness, which is our lives and such. 9 p.m. Eastern. What? What did I say? Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Did I say that? Stop confusing me. Fuck off. One last one to go out on. The only one we could possibly go out on tonight. Take her easy. Good night, everybody. Have yourselves a good week. See you back here next Monday.